games like Saturday, how do you get over them? How much do they hurt you? And what's going to take for this team and you to get over this hump and win one of these games?
You know, when it happens, you hurt more for the players with all the hard work that goes into that preparation and the back and forth, the ebb and flow of the game. Obviously, you're very proud of the effort, you know, leading that team at halftime and going down to the wire. And you just remind them that, you know, we've come a long way, and there's still yet a ways to go. But you know, I was very pleased with the improvement from game 1 to game 2, and we talked about that, you know, after the UCLA game, and the biggest improvement was about us. And now moving forward, it's about improving from this game that we just played, regardless of the opponent. And I believe this team, we have the mindset, we have the will, you know, so many things that we have that that need to manifest itself into playing out on the field, and then win games like that. You know, close games out like that. And so, you know, to me, it's been the mindset, it's been, you know, the will, it's been the desire. We talked about the opportunity that slipped through our hands, but at the same time now we can create opportunities and moments and belief that this team can play with the best teams that are out there. Now we have to do it on the field. So it's, you know, you got to get over it and you got to move on to the next game. It's a great thing about a season is that there's always, at the beginning of the season, there's always a next game.
How have you seen the close friendship between Matt and Canaan kind of manifest itself on the field?
Well, it manifested itself in that Matt had a career day, and so did Canaan. And that's a trust and belief that you have in individuals on your team. And I know Matt, you know, believes in other players on our team as well. But Canaan has emerged to become a big play guy for us, a go-to guy. And you know, he might get upset about it. He might not be the fastest guy vertically, but because of his athletic ability to go vertical, his big frames, big body, you know, you've seen the one-handed catches that, you know, even if it's man-to-man coverage, that he has an opportunity to come down with the ball, and that makes him, you know, an important target for us.
Like 6 plays of that was a lot. 6 plays of 20 yards or more on Saturday. Got real kind of creative too with the kind of the Wildcat trick play, touchdown to Keon. Was that something that was just, you know, you saw spots in Notre Dame's defense where you could take chances? Kind of what went into that, and how can you kind of carry that forward? How is Matt better maybe when things are kind of, you know, you let him do what he can do?
No, we wanted to be able to, you know, be more productive on offense. You know, not be predictable, do some things that not only could affect, you know, the way they were playing to run, but also the coverages. And when you have a fast defense, a reactive defense like that, then the reverses, the reverse throwbacks, the different formations, those things help. And you know, my hat goes off to the offense in terms of the game planning of this game. You know, we've got to continue to make sure that we execute to the best of our ability, but we also, you know, provide ourselves opportunities to do some things and create those explosive plays. Very pleased with the fact that we had more explosive plays, obviously, than we had the previous game, and that's the goal: is to get opportunities to get yardage, you know, chunks of yardage that allow. Not only is it a game changer, it's a, you know, psychologically things happen for you and to you, and so we just got to continue to keep improving, you know, from that standpoint, from the production.
Mike, the theme has been finishing all through the preseason. Given the way that the game ended Saturday, how do you keep that message going? You
know, you keep it going. I mean, you're 12 seconds away from beating whatever ranked team that they are. You're 12 seconds away from having an opportunity to, you know, to really catapult this program. And there's still a lot of games to play. And so our mindset is, again, regardless of the opponent that we're playing, it is the ability and the process, the mindset to continue to finish games. And you see the result. If you don't finish and play 4 quarters all the way to the last minute, then you see things that can happen against you. But if you can turn that into a positive, which I believe we will and we can, is you finish those games and you have an outcome where, you know, where everybody's happy about it. So, you know, we'll continue to keep talking about the mindset of finishing.
Mike, 2 questions. What was the mood of your team yesterday when y'all met? And 2, you've got an FCS background. Given all that's going on with the Power 5 conferences, how much longer do you anticipate playing an FCS team?
You know, the mood was obviously it wasn't somber. Nobody's walking around wringing their hands. Oh, woe is me. It was more of an upbeat mood that, you know, listen, man. The last 2 weeks, this team has played some really good football teams, and to get down to the last 12 seconds of a game that you were very, very competitive in. You know, this season can go in either direction. It can go in a direction where it's an impetus to take us further on, or guys can wallow around in what just happened and woe was me, and then, you know, and then fall. I believe this team is a team that embraces this challenge and is ready to move forward and move on and move up. You know, I had been on the other side of being an FCS coach and playing a BCS school. I've been on the side of winning those games as well. And the thing for us is that even what the captains talked about is, hey, listen, we don't care who we're playing. This is more about us winning a football game, playing on all cylinders, offense, defense, special teams wise. You know, we scored touchdowns in the red zone, which was the issue from UCLA game. That was something that was very positive. We did a great job defensively on third down. That was positive, but still we lost the game. And so now to complete a game, as you mentioned, to finish a game in a fashion that that's commensurate with setting the goals for us as winning football games this year and having opportunity for postseason opportunities.
Like you mentioned, resiliency. From an individual standpoint, did you have to say anything much to Maurice? I mean, he's fought these battles before. He's, you know, been in your starting lineup for every year of his career, and he's had a lot of ups, and there's been a few downs here and there. What did you say to him, and how do you see him kind of bouncing back?
You know, I believe in Maurice Canady. I love him. The young man is, you know, is a great young man that takes a lot of pride in playing well. And you talk about a guy that was distraught and highly upset. You know, he was one of them. But I would say, listen, you got to have a short memory. You know, you don't forget, but you can't let it linger, because you play a position that he's going to play against the other team's best receivers. That's how good he is. And you win some and you lose some. And this one cost us. But he's got to have, as a defensive back, you got to have a short memory and then move on to the things that are going to allow you to be successful, whether it's man coverage, zone coverage, or whatever it is. And Maurice Canady will rise to the occasion. I believe that.
Based on your earlier pronunciation, I'm not sure I've got this right, but regarding Olamide, what did you recruit him as? Is his long-term future at wide receiver? Could he also be a running back, a return guy? What do you see ahead of him?
What did I call him, my pronunciation? Okay.
Called him O.
You know, O is a young man. Obviously, was the offensive player of the year coming out of his high school, and very athletic guy. And you know, he lined up originally, came in with the running backs, but proved, you know, shortly after we started training camp that he's got exceptional skills. And so we started talking about playmakers. We'd lost a couple, you know, TJ, Donnie Dallin, guys like that. How could we make that up? And that was one of the things that we saw early on, that he has a chance and an opportunity. So it goes back to, you know, the running the ball. You know, sometimes it's downhill direct. Other times, in his case, it was on some jet sweeps. And so, you know, he is a guy that will continue to get more reps and more opportunities, and not just on jet sweeps, but, you know, we will game plan other things to give him other opportunities. You know, very much in the plan as well. He is a guy that's done it in high school as well. So, you know, we will explore all opportunities to see how many touches we can get him as well.
We're a half hour in and not the first question yet about William and Mary personnel. I know you like to say it's about
a half hour already. Crazy.
I know it's about your team in your mind, but just it's a very experienced team that's been one game out of the playoffs each of the last 2 years. Abdul Sabour's I'm guessing in your mind a pretty good back. Just curious about your impressions of their personnel.
Like I said, I spent several seasons with Coach Laycock and have a tremendous amount of respect for him as a football coach, football mind. He's definitely one of the deans of college coaching, having been at William Mary for several years, but just success over the years. The teams are always well coached, and he surrounds himself with good people, good coaches. I know Kevin Rogers. I know a lot of guys on that staff, and I know the type of kids that they get because I was there. They'll be well coached. They'll be excited about this opportunity. They won't be intimidated by anything coming and playing up in Charlottesville. I know they do. The quarterback and the running back, and there's a couple wide receivers that that are very productive for them defensively. They got 2 safeties. They got a linebacker, a guy up front that play hard. So, it's and they'll come to play. And as I said, you can look at FCS. I mean, we're not looking at it that way. We're looking at another opponent and a chance for us to compete and win a home game, here in Charlottesville, and get moving in a positive direction coming off these last 2 games, particularly this last game. So it's more, again, no disrespect to them. It's more about us than it is about them, but understanding about them. They're a well-coached team, and like I said, I've been there, so I know what's being said and how those kids feel about they got a chance to come in here and compete and do well.